before May 29th at 6:06 a.m. A secret meeting will happen about you. The date angels are trying to warn you, but you must not speak of this. Watch you now. Hear now the decree that is over from the whole of heaven. The sacred hour approaches, May 29th, at exactly 6:06 a.m. It is not merely a time, not merely a date. It is a threshold, a divine boundary line drawn in the sands of time and spirit. This is a moment when what is unseen shall seek to influence what is seen, and a council, veiled, hidden, wrapped in holy secrecy, is being convened concerning you. The angels have whispered through realms, crossing time and terrain to deliver this dispatch to the spiritually attuned. It is not for the distracted. It is not for the skeptical. It is not for the casual believer who glances lightly at the matters of heaven. This message is reserved for those who feel the burning in their spirit, who have ears to hear and eyes to perceive, who have been stirred in recent nights without understanding why. There is a meeting, yes, a meeting, not of mere mortals, not of simple planners, but a gathering both earthly and celestial, where decisions are being shaped, alliances formed, conclusions spoken behind the veil. And you, chosen one, are at the center. Your name has been invoked. Your path has been studied. Your presence, divinely marked, has stirred both heaven and those who seek to imitate its authority. Archangel Michael has stepped forward. He has seen the gathering in the spirit. He has stood at the edge of heaven's courts and watched the formation of this divine concern. It is cloaked. It is concealed. But it is not beyond the gaze of the warrior angel who now speaks to you through the currents of eternity. This message is not a suggestion. It is not entertainment. It is a divine summons, wrapped in mystery, laced with urgency, reserved for the obedient. For if you speak of this prematurely, if you allow curiosity to drive you into discussion, you may unravel what heaven has intricately sewn together. This is not the hour for explaining. It is the hour for discerning. Silence is not passive. Silence is not weakness. Silence is the sword of those who walk closely with God. The stillness you are called into is not absence. It is action in another dimension. Your quiet obedience is louder in the spirit realm than 1,000 shouts. For heaven has chosen to intervene, but it has also chosen to test. Will you obey without full understanding? Will you remain still when everything around you demands reaction? Heaven is working behind the veil, and you are the subject of its strategy. Listen. Listen deeply. Listen in stillness. For only in silence will the full revelation be delivered. You are being prepared for a divine interception. The key is stillness. The weapon is silence. The power is in your ability to trust without speaking. Now, seal this word in your spirit. Do not run to speak it. Do not let anxiety make you seek answers from man. You have been warned, but with that warning comes divine protection, if you obey. If you receive this word, let heaven mark your obedience. Type "I am chosen" in the comments if you receive this message. Listen, code 999 is now surrounding you. Heed this urgent call. The atmosphere is shifting. The heavens are trembling with anticipation, and the sound of angelic wings is drawing near. Archangel Michael steps forth, not in gentleness but in holy urgency. With his sword drawn and his gaze set like fire upon the earth, he speaks now to the awakened, to the anointed, to the ones heaven has marked for divine surveillance. By sunrise, he declares with the authority of celestial realms, you must be prepared. No delays, no distractions, no excuses. This is not metaphor, not symbol, not parable. This is a date sealed in heaven's archives. May 29th, 6:06 a.m. At this exact moment, realms will intersect, and a secret meeting cloaked in silence shall unfold concerning your destiny. The angelic council has not come to entertain, nor has heaven dispatched this message lightly. Your name has been whispered through angelic ranks, carried like holy fire through the halls of divine intention. You are not forgotten. You are focused upon. This is not ordinary. This is celestial interference within the timeline of your life. Earthly circumstances are being influenced by spiritual powers, and you stand in the center of it. This isn't a coincidence. This isn't paranoia. This is heaven breaking its own silence to reach you because the stakes are too high, and the time is too short. Divine stillness must now rise within you. Everything familiar in your life may soon feel unfamiliar, but it is heaven reordering your atmosphere. What you interpret as confusion may in truth be recalibration. You must listen deeper. You must see beyond. Obedience in silence is your door to interception. If you speak of what you sense too soon, if you give voice to what was only meant to be held in your spirit, you will breach heaven's covering. Archangel Michael says clearly, your silence is your submission to divine order. You are being prepared, not for confrontation but for confirmation. Not to fight with words, but to win through stillness. If you are watching this, the warning was meant for you, and only you. Not everyone can carry this message. Not everyone can steward this kind of secrecy. But you, chosen one, have been trusted with it. Your spirit already knew something was approaching. Your dreams have shifted. Your emotions have been stirred. That was not anxiety. It was angelic alert. Now invoke the stillness. Breathe deeply. Step into the moment. Time is collapsing into purpose. Heaven is positioning you where words cannot reach. The Holy Spirit is prompting you, not to react, but to receive. From this moment until that appointed hour, you must protect your atmosphere. No idle talk. No careless sharing. No misalignment. Obey, and you will intercept what was meant to harm. Disobey, and you delay your inheritance. Michael stands with his sword extended above your household, shielding what cannot be spoken yet. A hedge of fire surrounds your name. Angels have been dispatched to block interference. Trust the silence. Enter the secrecy. Heaven is watching how you move. Type "I am anointed" in the comments if you receive this message. Blessing code 1516 is now activated. Look closer. Listen deeper. The people near you are shifting, and it's not by accident. Their behavior has become unusual. Some avoid your eyes. Others offer praise laced with discomfort. Conversations around you feel rehearsed. Laughter feels hollow. Tension hides behind pleasantries. This is not your imagination. This is the atmosphere reacting to a divine disruption. The emotional chaos you've been navigating is not mere confusion. It's spiritual interference. Your spirit is discerning what your mind can't explain. Something is being orchestrated, and though it's masked in human behaviors, the true origin is unseen. Someone close to you is not being honest. Someone distant knows more than they should. The Holy Spirit is unveiling a secret formation against you, but not to make you fearful, to make you prepared. There is a plan, and it includes your name. There are whispers. There are questions. There is suspicion cloaked in concern. The enemy has moved subtly, using familiar faces as vessels for spiritual distraction. But angels have intervened. The veil is thinning, and you are being allowed to discern what you were never meant to overhear. Not for your destruction, but for your deliverance. You sensed it. You felt drained without cause, anxious without trigger. But heaviness hasn't come from within, it had been sent. This is not emotional instability. This is warfare. They're speaking in codes. They're meeting in silence. And still, your spirit knows. Heaven has permitted your perception to rise, not to fight flesh, but to recognize patterns. Someone around you is unsettled because they know what you're about to become. Michael speaks, do not confront them. Do not chase clarity. Do not ask for honesty where heaven is demanding silence. This is not your fight. This is your proving ground. You were never meant to walk into this moment unaware, but you were meant to walk through it untouched. Let them talk. Let them plan. Let them meet. You stay hidden in obedience. This disruption is confirmation. This confusion is holy evidence. Your atmosphere is testifying to your transformation. The more you feel emotional agitation, the more you must press into stillness. Fast if you must. Write in your journal. Cry in God's presence. But do not release your discernment into the ears of the unprepared. You are being wrapped in divine discretion. A truth. You were never meant to overhear this. But angels intervene. This spiritual setup is being unraveled not by your hands, but by your obedience. Remain still. Do not expose the revelation yet. Heaven will deliver justice, clarity, and confirmation, but on its timeline, not yours. If this message resonates with you and you feel moved to support, consider giving a super thanks with contributions of up to $20. Your kindness helps us bring more powerful content your way. Also, if you'd like to support what we do, you can make a difference by donating through the Support Here link in the description of this video. Every contribution helps us keep creating and sharing more with you. Type "I receive divine strategy" in the comments if this message confirms what you've sensed. Blessing code 444 is now breaking confusion. Now hear this. Chosen vessel, what appears as chaos in your life, what feels like betrayal in your heart, what sounds like gossip in the wind, is far more than human drama. This is not just conversation. This is not just confusion. This is not just life. This is spiritual warfare, disguised as concern, camouflaged as conflict, wrapped in relationships, and whispered through familiarity. You must see beyond the faces. You must hear beyond the tones. You must understand. This is not about them. This is not even about what they're saying. This is about what you carry. You have been chosen, not targeted. You have been marked, not marginalized. The spiritual weight you carry has stirred the atmosphere around you. Your anointing disrupts their normal. Your presence convicts their compromise. Your calling makes you a threat, not to people, but to principalities. Archangel Michael stands once more, and his voice cuts through the noise like a sword forged in eternal flame. This is not betrayal. This is battlefield. The enemy has shifted tactics. He no longer fights you with sickness or setbacks. He fights you with voices, with gossip, with silence, with questions that linger and glances that wound. Because he knows, if he can confuse your spirit, he can delay your breakthrough. But listen now. Let this truth burn into your soul. You are being tested, not tormented. The pressure you feel is not persecution without purpose. It is surveillance. Divine surveillance. The angels have been given orders not to rescue you from this moment, but to record how you walk through it. Will you lash out? Will you break down? Or will you rise in the stillness and discern the divine strategy? This is about your graduation. This is about your ascension. This is about whether heaven can trust you with greater territory. And territory is never given to the noisy. It is entrusted to the faithful, to those who can suffer silently, walk wisely, and worship while wounded. Heaven is not asking you to defend yourself. Heaven is asking you to position yourself. Because this is not punishment. This is positioning. What feels like silence from God is not absence. It is a holy investigation. Your reactions are being weighed. Your posture is being documented. The angels are not absent. They are watching. Every time you choose prayer over pettiness, stillness over strife, silence over shouting, you ascend. You are not losing. You are passing. You are not forgotten. You are being forged. Michael reminds you, your silence is not weakness. It is armor. It is the cloak that covers your elevation. It is the signal to the heavens that you trust the process more than the people. And when you trust heaven more than you need validation from earth, you unlock access that cannot be corrupted. So now, in the midst of the whispers, stay still. When they provoke you, stay still. When they misrepresent you, stay still. When your name is mishandled, stay still. Because your name is also being handled in heaven. And there, it is spoken in honor. There, it is marked with fire. There, it is shielded by promise. Let them think what they want. Let them say what they say. But you, chosen one, you stay silent. And let the silence become your weapon. Type I am unmovable in the comments if you receive this message. Blessing code 2727 is now shielding your spirit. Mark this moment with trembling clarity. Before the hour of 6:06 a.m. on May 29th, something will shift. A decision will be made. A door will attempt to close or open. Conversations that do not include your voice will still affect your path. This is not paranoia. This is prophecy. This is not speculation. This is revelation. And the Spirit of the Lord says, you must be still, for what is coming has been designed not to hurt you, but to test your hearing. Someone is moving. Someone is meeting. Someone is planning. And though the actions appear mundane, an email, a document, a closed-door chat, the agenda is not innocent. It has been seeded by spiritual intent. Heaven sees it. Michael has warned it. You must discern it. This is not about what they say. It is about what spirit they operate under. The spirit behind the setup is subtle. It does not rage, it whispers. It does not shout, it plants seeds. It does not confront, it conspires. The enemy rarely wears headhose and flames. He walks through familiar faces. He speaks in casual meetings. He hides in concerns that sound helpful but are laced with dishonor. In the next 72 hours, pressure will increase. You will be provoked. You will feel the need to respond. The itch to speak will become unbearable. The desire to defend yourself, to clarify the truth, to fix what feels unjust will rise like a flood. But do not speak. That is the trap. The enemy's goal is not just to harm you. It is to make you disqualify yourself with your own words. Michael's command is clear. Hold the line. Your silence is sacred. Your restraint is holy. Your stillness is not a lack of courage. It is the roar of heaven held in the lungs of obedience. Do not text. Do not call. Do not confront. Go silent. Go higher. Heaven will respond. Heaven will roar when the time is right. But that roar will not come from your mouth. It will come from the judgment of God in His appointed time. The angels are shifting information. Divine retaliation is in motion, but your role is not retaliation. It is reverence. Let God speak for you. Let heaven defend you. This is not your courtroom. This is God's courtroom. And He does not lose cases. If the pressure is rising, it means your breakthrough is nearing. The enemy presses hardest before he loses his grip. Do not break your silence. Do not forfeit your covering. Stay hidden. Stay still. The hour of interception is almost here. Tyke, I will not break silence in the comments if this word confirms your current season. Blessing code 1212 is surrounding your voice. Now is not the time for argument. Now is not the time for explanation. Now is the time for divine silence, holy, strategic, prophetic silence. Let all chaos around you rise. Let the whispers increase. Let the pressure mount. And you remain still. You remain unshaken. You remain protected. Because heaven is moving. Because God is defending. Because angels are forming a hedge that no man, no spirit, no word can penetrate. Hear the command from the throne room of the Most High. Heaven fights hardest when you say the least. Your power is not in your rebuttal. It is in your restraint. Your strength is not in your answers. It is in your alignment. God has called you to observe, not interfere. To discern, not declare. To walk in wisdom, not in reaction. Let them wonder. Let them question. Let them assume. Let you walk in silence. Because your silence activates the voice of heaven. This is where the righteous are distinguished. This is where the mature are proven. In the battle of voices, it is the quiet one heaven trusts the most. Archangel Michael stands beside you now. His wings outstretched, his sword embedded in the ground at your feet. He whispers, "Say nothing. The war is not yours. You are not being ignored. You are being shielded. You are not being punished. You are being positioned. Do not speak to explain. Do not pose to clarify. Do not gather opinions to soothe your ego. The time for words is later. But this moment, this hour, belongs to stillness. You are not called to respond to man's suspicion. You are called to align with heaven's strategy. Even now, the Spirit of God says, "Be still, and know that I am defending you." He is not just watching. He is intervening. And the moment you choose stillness, you allow God to war where you cannot. Wrap yourself in divine protection. Let Psalm 91 become your declaration and your defense. Speak it over your home. Speak it over your mind. Speak it over your future. Let it cover your comings and your goings. Let it saturate the very atmosphere where you dwell. Because this is not just about what's being said, it's about what's being said. You are being surrounded by divine surveillance. Every breath, every thought, every word is being weighed. Fast, yes. Yearn, yes. Worship, yes. But speak only to God. He alone knows the full plan. He alone knows the hidden plots. He alone sees the end from the beginning. Do not outsource your discernment to anyone not called to carry your revelation. This is not a season for consolation. It is a season for consecration. Protect your atmosphere like it is sacred, because it is. You are protected. You are shielded. You are hidden beneath the wings of angels. Do not mistake silence for stagnation. While you stay quiet, heaven is moving loud. While you remain still, God is tearing down lies. While you say nothing, angels are writing your vindication across scrolls unseen by earthly eyes. Let them speak. Let them gather. Let them assume. But you, chosen vessel, you keep your peace. Your reward is not in what they think. Your reward is in what God declares. Stay silent. Stay sealed. Stay sovereign. This is not weakness. This is warfare. And you are winning in ways hell cannot comprehend. Type I am divinely protected in the comments if this word speaks directly to you. Blessing code 7777 now encircles your atmosphere. Rise now, chosen one. Rise not in anger, not in fear, but in silent fire. For what has happened to you is nothing compared to what is being activated through you. You are not a casualty of their conversations. You are the catalyst of divine confrontation. Heaven has not allowed this meeting about you to form so you could be diminished. No, heaven allowed it so you could be distinguished. The enemy thought his schemes would make you small. They didn't realize they triggered your transformation. They set fire beneath you to destroy you. But that fire is your lift, is your wind. It's the very breath that's elevating you above their plans, their whispers, their meetings. This isn't a breakdown. This is a breakthrough in disguise. They gathered to discuss you, but they didn't know who you become. You are no longer the one who needs to be understood. You are no longer the one desperate for acceptance. You are no longer the one who fights for acknowledgement. You are now a vault, divine, sealed, sacred. Heaven has locked revelation inside of you, and no man can extract what God has encrypted. You are becoming more dangerous in your silence than you ever were in your speaking. You are a spiritual weapon now, sharpened, tested, tempered. The enemy made the mistake of touching someone who was already sealed. He forgot you don't fight with fists. You fight with faith. You don't war with words, you war with will. This silence is not stillness. It's strategy. It's birthing a warrior, not a worrier. You are walking through the fire with no smoke on you. You are walking through the setup without scars. Because every time they talked, every time they planned, every time they met in secret, heaven met higher. Heaven saw deeper. Heaven responded sooner. And now you shift. Now you remember who you were. Now you stand in the fullness of divine identity. You are not broken. You are becoming. You are not buried. You are being built. You are not shaken. You are being shaped. The power inside of you is awakening. Your voice may be quiet, but your spirit is roaring. Let the wind carry you. Let the fire forge you. Let the stillness crown you. This isn't your end. It's your evolution. You are ascending, even as they scheme. You are advancing, even as they assume. And all of heaven is watching, whispering one truth. Well done, beloved. Well done for trusting in silence. If this message resonates with you and you feel moved to support, consider giving us super thanks with contributions of up to $10. Your support helps us create and share even more prophetic content with you. Also, if you'd like to support what we do, you can make a difference by donating through the support here link in the description of this video. Every contribution helps us keep creating and sharing more with you. Type I am rising in power in the comments if this section stirs your spirit. Blessing code 818 is now releasing supernatural strength over you. Look closer, child of the Most High. Peel back the veil that fear has tried to drape over your destiny. What you are living through is not confusion. It is confirmation. This is not a random attack. This is not coincidence. This is not about them. This is about a prophetic unlocking that has begun inside your spirit. And the warfare you feel is the enemy's desperate response to the announcement heaven has made over your life. You are crossing into divine promotion. You are entering into the very season the enemy swore you'd never reach. Every whisper, every strange glance, every mysterious shift in those around you is a confirmation that the prophecy tied to your name is starting to breathe. This secret meeting isn't just about you. It's about what God is about to release through you. The enemy has heard the echoes of your elevation. That's why he's in panic. That's why he's plotting. That's why he's stirring the pot in secret places, because your timeline is unlocking. Archangel Michael comes again with clarity, with fire in his tone. This is divine interruption. This isn't man's doing. This isn't a coincidence. This is heaven stepping into your schedule and saying, now. God is accelerating things. What should have taken years is about to collapse into days. What seemed impossible is now inevitable. You are not waiting anymore. You are transitioning. The wait is over because the word has matured. The promise has reached its fullness. Your next is no longer coming. It's here. A secret meeting. It was allowed. It was seen. It was known in the spirit before it formed on earth. They thought they were planning around you. But in truth, they were confirming you. They thought they were deciding your fate. But in truth, they were revealing their own assignments. The true agenda of the enemy was not exposure. It was acceleration. God used what was sent to break you to actually build the bridge into your destiny. There's a shift in the spirit even now. Do you feel it? You sense the vibration in your soul. Heaven has entered the room of your reality. What was sealed is being unsealed. What was hidden is being revealed. The scrolls are opening. The divine books are unfolding. And your name is written with fire and light. They tried to erase your impact, but they could not erase your identity. They tried to sabotage your moment, but they did not realize they triggered your manifestation. The prophecy is fulfilling. You are the living word that is now being walked out. This pressure has not come to crush you, it has come to confirm you. You are walking into what was promised. You are becoming what was prophesied. You are holding the line while heaven pushes you forward. You are not what they think. You are far more than they understand. Michael speaks again, firm and sure. They gathered to break you, but heaven rebuilt you. They never saw what God was doing in secret. They never knew the prayers you cried behind closed doors. They never sensed the weight of what you carry. But heaven did. And heaven responded. Heaven reinforced. Heaven restructured. You are now standing on the edge of divine upgrade. You're not being pitied, you're being positioned. You're not being passed over, you're being promoted. Even now, the favor that surrounds you is becoming visible. Even now, the oil on your life is drawing divine appointments. Get ready, and still, and clear. Because heaven is no longer whispering. Heaven is announcing. Type I receive my divine promotion in the comments if this word confirms your elevation. Blessing code 3333 is now active over your destiny. Now is not the time for confusion. Now is not the time for doubt. Now is the time for bold decision. This is the hour where destinies are not just dreamed about, they are activated. What you choose now determines what unfolds next. This moment is not light. This choice is not small. This is the tipping point. And the Spirit of the Lord declares, choose me. Choose obedience. Choose silence. Choose surrender. You must not waver. You must not delay. You must not look back. Declare it. I will not be shaken. I am heaven's voice. The declaration alone begins to pierce atmospheres. That confession alone begins to collapse demonic networks. You are no longer just receiving. You are now engaging. You are not a bystander to your promise. You are the gatekeeper of your purpose. This isn't the time to seek explanations. This isn't the time to chase answers. Heaven doesn't need you to explain the rumors. Heaven doesn't require you to defend the silence. Heaven has already rendered judgment in your favor. You are not here to convince others. You are here to obey the instructions. Because obedience activates what talent never could. Because surrender opens doors that effort never will. Speak your affirmations aloud. Pray your declarations. Quote the scriptures that build you. The enemy isn't after your voice. He's after your agreement. He wants you to align with fear, with gossip, with retaliation. But heaven calls you to align with righteousness, with purpose, with sacred power. This is your moment to choose legacy over loss, to choose anointing over anxiety. Write it down. Declare it boldly. Say it again and again. I choose divine timing. I choose spiritual maturity. I choose to rise even when it hurts. Your alignment is your access. Your stillness is your weapon. Your yes is your sword. What heaven is unlocking now cannot be touched by the opinions of man. This activation will not wait for consensus. It only waits for your yes. The meetings about you are irrelevant now. Because the moment you activate your destiny in obedience, you override every word, every plan, every delay. The enemy is loud, but your obedience is louder. The darkness is thick, but your surrender is brighter. This moment is pregnant with purpose, and your destiny is not asking for permission. It is demanding participation. This is your yes moment. Your shift begins now. Your identity is not being built. It is being unveiled. You are stepping into the next dimension, not because of effort, but because of agreement. Say yes. Live yes. Walk yes. And do not explain it. Those who are meant to witness your rise will recognize it. And those who don't, they were never meant to walk with you in this elevation. Your response is your activation. Your obedience is your inheritance. And your silence is your signature on heaven's scroll of trust. The more still you remain, the louder your spirit roars in the heavens. If this message resonates with you and you feel moved to support, consider giving a super thanks with contributions of up to $50. Your generosity helps us continue bringing more powerful and prophetic revelations your way. Also, if you'd like to support what we do, you can make a difference by donating through the Support Here link in the description of this video. Every contribution helps us keep creating and sharing more with you. Type I am activated in the comments to seal this word in your spirit. Blessing code 5656 is now unlocking divine fulfillment. While you have been still, while you have been silent, while you have obeyed the voice of God and restrained your tongue from the fires of reaction, something had been happening behind the veil. Not in your room, not in their boardrooms, but in the sacred halls of the spirit realm. There, where no man walks, where no enemy can tread, where only angels gather and the glory of God illuminates all things. Your name has been spoken. Hear this with reverence. While earth was whispering about you, heaven was proclaiming your name with thunder. While they formed meetings to discuss your fate, the angels formed a circle of light around your destiny. While they plotted in secret, the Spirit negotiated in sovereignty. There has been an exchange, a silent exchange in the spirit realm, and it has changed everything. Archangel Michael stands with the scroll now unrolled. It bears your name. It bears your calling. It bears the divine blueprint that no lie, no scheme, no man-made manipulation can erase. While you waited, heaven worked. While you wept in secret, angels were trading every tear for a harvest. While you resisted the urge to speak, the spirit realm erupted with activity. Records have been opened. Decisions have been reversed. Prophetic inheritances that were locked because of bloodline interference, ancestral trauma, where spiritual theft are being returned in silence. Yes, returned without fanfare, returned without public vindication, returned without headlines, because this is a holy exchange. God does not negotiate in the noise. He settles matters in the sacred. What was stolen in silence is now being returned in silence. What was denied through manipulation is now being restored through divine justice. While you sleep, angels move through corridors unseen. They correct records. They reverse curses. They reorder destinies. You do not need to speak it. You do not need to shout it. Your obedience has already activated it. They are meeting about you on earth. But heaven had a meeting first. And in that holy council, it was declared, "Touch not my anointed. Do my prophet no harm." Every spiritual violation against your calling has now been noted. Every illegal access to your life has been revoked. Every tongue that rose in judgment is now silenced, not by your response, but by heaven's judgment. This is not just spiritual, it is ancestral. You are breaking covenants made without your consent. You are recovering blessings that were surrendered generations ago. This is not just about you. It is about your bloodline, your children, your future, your legacy. You were chosen to be the hinge on which generations turn. And because you obeyed in silence, the Spirit has turned the key. Do you feel it? The shift is not coming. The shift has already begun. The weight in your chest, the pull in your spirit, the tears that fall without words, that's the trade. Heaven is trading your pain for power. Heaven is trading your silence for substance. Heaven is trading your loss for legacy. Stay in alignment. Stay low in posture but high in spirit. Let God complete what He has begun. Don't speak too soon. Don't move prematurely. Let the silent exchange finish its holy cycle. When it is complete, what you walk into will be irrefutable. The doors will open. The connections will form. The anointing will increase. And those who questioned your silence will be silenced by your fruit. Type "I receive the divine exchange" in the comments if your spirit feels this move. Blessing code 1010 is securing your legacy even now. Now the scales are tipping. Now the gavel falls. Now the hand of God moves with the weight of justice, and it moves swiftly, completely, and without apology. What was meant for harm is becoming your harvest. What was sent to break you is birthing your breakthrough. This is not just a reversal, it is a divine recompense. I, the Lord, will repay, says the Spirit of justice. And when heaven says repay, it is never equal, it is always multiplied. The stolen time, repaid in acceleration. The stolen opportunities, repaid with open doors no man can shut. The betrayal, repaid with honor. The tears, repaid with joy. The silence you carried like a burden, repaid with glory. Every arrow aimed at your spirit is now returning to the sender. Every curse disguised as concern is being returned to its source. Not because you prayed for revenge, but because you passed the test. Because you trusted God instead of taking control. Because you chose righteousness over retaliation. You did not strike back, so heaven has struck forward. This is justice the world will not understand. Because justice in the kingdom is not always loud. It is transformational. God is not just correcting what was wrong. He is rewriting what comes next. You're not getting back what was taken. You're receiving more than what was ever imagined. The very rooms they tried to keep you out of, heaven is calling you to. The very tables they excluded you from, God is preparing for you. And this time, when you enter, you won't need a name tag. Your presence will testify. Your silence will speak louder than their accusations. And your fruit will silence every false narrative. They planned the meeting to harm you, but heaven planned the moment to elevate you. The reversal is complete when you don't just recover, but rise. And you will rise. Not to prove anything, not to boast, but to glorify the one who vindicates without fail. The spiritual courtroom is closing now. The verdict has been delivered. You are not guilty. You are not forgotten. You are favored. And that favor is not just spiritual, it is strategic. Expect strange favor. Expect rapid movement. Expect tables to turn without warning. Expect sudden release, surprising allies, and shocking promotions. Justice is not delayed, it is now. Reversal is not theoretical, it is tangible. Even now, doors are unlocking. Even now, the weight is lifting. Even now, your enemies are being confounded, not by your voice, but by your victory. Type divine justice is mine in the comments if this section confirms your season. Blessing code 8899 is now enforcing heaven's ruling over your life. Be still now. Yes, be still, not in defeat but in dominion. Be still, not in weariness but in wisdom. Be still, not because you are silenced, but because you are sovereign. This moment, this very breath, is holy. For all of heaven has leaned in, and all of earth will soon bear witness to what obedience in silence can produce. Let your soul rest now, for the warfare has already turned. Let your heart steady itself, for the noise around you was never a threat, it was a signal that the enemy had heard the sound of your elevation, a signal that the realms of darkness sensed your unlocking, and a signal to heaven that you were ready to carry weight others could not. You were entrusted with silence because you were trusted with significance. And now, as the dust settles, as the noise fades, as the secret meeting about you is overshadowed by heaven's verdict over you, know this, it has already been overruled in the spirit. The decision has been reversed. The attack has been rendered null. The plan has failed. The plot has unraveled. And your name is now echoing in heaven with honor, not harm. Archangel Michael stands now at your right side, his wings raised in victory, his sword returned to its sheath. The battle has been concluded. The scroll hath been sealed. The test of silence hath been passed. And now comes the reward that only the obedient can receive. The reward that only the silent warriors can carry. Heaven did not forget you. Heaven fortified you. Heaven did not delay you. Heaven was designing you. Every silent prayer, every restrained response, every withheld word was a seed, and the harvest is now. You are stepping into what they thought they blocked. You are rising into what they hoped would collapse. And you are moving forward, not just healed, but crowned. So be bold. Walk with your head high. Speak only when heaven gives you the word. You are not obligated to explain your stillness. You are not required to justify your silence. You have been sealed, seen, and sent. You carry the authority of one who obeyed without needing attention. You carry the glory of one who waited without demanding validation. The secret meeting about you. It is done. It has no bearing. It holds no weight. The final word has been spoken from the throne room, and it is this: you are mine. You are chosen. You are covered. Heaven has cast its vote, and it is irrevocable. Now rise. Step boldly into what has already been decreed. Let your actions testify. Let your fruit flurry. Let your silence continue to speak. Because this was never just about a warning, it was about your witnessing. You are about to witness the fulfillment of divine promises. You are about to walk into the reward that silence built. And if ever you forget the power of obedience, remember this moment. Remember the shift. Remember the stillness. And remember the divine hand that moved when yours remained at peace. I declare over you now, by the authority of the Most High, through the message of Archangel Michael, you are sealed. You are seen. You are sent. And nothing formed against you shall ever prosper again. You have been faithful in silence. Now, prepare for favor in public. Type "I am sealed in favor" in the comments to close this divine message. Blessing code 0000 is now releasing heaven's final word over your life.